gaming room slash home theater slash workshop. No exaggeration when we're done here. I think this is going to be the best upgrade anyone has ever done at our company.
Okay, that might be a little bit of tough for you, sir. But I actually do have very high expectations for this setup because there's no sponsor for this upgrade, meaning the tech tips are going to be a bit more practical and also high stakes, since every dollar that David put into this came right out of the precious collectibles he had to sell to pay for it. So I think it's time to roll up our sleeves and stretch some dollars. Like I'm stretching out this segue. Our sponsor, Proton Mail. Take control of how your data is used online by Googling your life and choosing Proton's suite of privacy-first products. You can check them out at the link in the video description.
This is my house.
Wow! I can't believe you guys moved in like a month ago.
Yeah, my partner's been working really hard on getting the space set up. Priority was getting the book nook sorted.
Wow!
It's awesome.
This is incredible!
Yeah, we're very, very lucky. It's funny, my girlfriend has the same problem I had a little while ago. She loves collecting things. This is a very valuable collection of books. They're all like special edition.
Oh, really?
Books. Like I think this one's like $600 or something. One of these tour edition ones is that much, and like everything is quite valuable on the shelf. So,
oh wow.
Part 3 of this video line is clearing out her collection.
TV corner looks great too. Other than, I was gonna say, TV too high,
I
but
got the fancy mount. It was so hard to install. It took me like hours and hours. But I also wall mounted the PS5.
does it come down much? We can see that.
You can see the top.
Cool. My only question is, what are you going to do here? I can see the bones of some pretty interesting ideas. What is the PVC pipe in the corner for?
We are going to make an RGB cloud lamp that a computer will be coming out of. Before we do that, let's get the TV mounted.
Okay, I see you went with the LG C3 77-inch.
It was the best value OLED I could find, so per pixel dimming, great blacks, great motion clarity for gaming, both retro and new stuff.
Right, because you can throw filters on that, and it gets it's not a CRT, and it'll never be a CRT, but pretty CRT-like.
It also has 4 HDMI 2.1s in, including the ARC port, which means I can use this receiver that has 2 HDMI 2.1 outs for the 2 TVs that are going to be in here.
2 TVs.
One's a monitor. It's a monitor, not TV.
Oh man, okay. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's not that heavy. Are you stuck behind the TV, David?
Nope.
You sure?
I can crouch.
You're quite certain you're not stuck? Oh!
It's definitely the biggest TV I've ever owned.
Wow, you're gonna be pretty close to this, hey?
It's like a movie theater.
I feel like there's gonna be a pretty stark contrast between what David's SO did and what he's doing here.
She likes the ideas. She won't like the execution.
Now, I didn't think you were planning to build a new computer. Also, I couldn't help noticing that this was from the office.
Well, I didn't start out planning on building a computer. I just sort of got one upgrade at a time until it turned into a whole new computer.
This looks sick, though.
Yeah, this is from one of our streams. Cherry Tree sent it over, and it was in white, which doesn't quite work with the vibe I wanted, so I had Justin paint it to a dark gray black.
And
so
now you've got
the aesthetic.
a black board cube PC.
Oh, it's so sick.
And this is like top of the freaking line, dude.
It's pretty close.
My only question is, what's the deal with these bolts coming out the bottom?
A PC this beautiful doesn't deserve to rest on a desk. It deserves to float in the sky. And we have a mount for it to be floating. And that is the base for it.
Oh boy. Okay, Reese, do you want to get started on that?
Wish me luck.
I will.
Luck.
But that's not the only computer today.
No, we are building my partner a new computer. She's been stuck with my old 7700K system. And it's time for her to get something a little more up to date, not fully up to date, but...
I mean, it's a 7900 XT.
Well, yeah, the graphics card is good.
Why don't I get to work on her machine?
Great. In the meantime, I'm going to go help Reese, but I want to give you a sneak preview of the extra piece for the Borg PC.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just wait to see it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Man, when you get a hand-me-down SO PC from David, doesn't seem that bad. 3900X, 32 gigs of RAM.
To mount the Borg QPC and make it sort of look like it's floating, we have this piece of metal that we've cut and welded back together. It'll drill into studs, and then we have built a custom mount for the PC to mount on top and then sort of kind of stick out. It's not perfect, and this color is an exact match for the wall, but I'm going to paint the wall a galaxy color. Editor, put up a galaxy. That's what it's going to look like. And we're going to paint on top of this and make it all kind of more cohesive and invisible.
You know, Sama's not a brand that we look at very often on this channel, but I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the value. $80 US for curved glass, and 4 of these fans were already included. It's a pretty nice value. A less impressive package is this motherboard. David, for all of his wonderful qualities, is not always the most organized, and while I did manage to track down the backplate, I don't have the screws or the brackets for the front, which, unfortunately, I do need. Thankfully, I have the capability of channeling my own inner David, and I'm going to steal the screws that he apparently didn't need for his new rig.
The upgrade today is not going to be complete. There's still lots of little projects that are ongoing. I started doing these comic book tabletops. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I have a bunch of Star Trek comic books, and I'm going to do a collage of all the Star Trek things that I love. And I'm going to do a movie one for the console in the middle. Didn't get done in time. And this one isn't even finished, but it gives you an idea of what it will be like in the future.
Oh, sorry, I was leaned down here to do a shot to figure out what I'm going to do about Justin, not including the AMD standoffs. It looks like these LGA 1700 ones will work in a pinch. It'll just be a little bit tight. And then I saw what David did to the poor SSD that's in this M.2 slot. There's going to be a lot of improvisation today, guys, because while the height of the 1700s is okay, they don't fit over these posts. So I'm going to have to drill them out. I don't know. I've got to fix that SSD. BRB. Not going to lie, David, between you and Justin, that computer is going to be the death of me.
Oh,
What's the odds you have a vice? Okay, I'll hold it by hand. What are the odds you have a drill and a bit that's a little bigger than this?
pretty good, actually.
All right, let's do it. What could go wrong? Ow. Ow. Oh, if I spin it backwards, I can just kind of melt it in there. Oh, dude, buddy. Whew, that's sick. They almost contact the standoffs. Almost, which is exactly what we want. We want a little bit of kind of spring pressure on these. Oh, yeah. Dude, we're good. Oh, what a relief.
I'm very curious if you can figure out what this is for.
It's a door.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a climbing wall for a really, really small person.
Hint, it's in that bin.
Oh, controller wall.
Magnetic controller.
No. Oh.
The idea is that this is going to cover that breaker panel, but I still need to access it, and so it's going to be on a barn door, so it can slide in and out of the way. Eventually, we paint it black to match the rest of the wall.
The vision's great. Execution, ABC blocks.
Because what? Do you want to cut all these blocks? This is the easiest, cheapest way to get a bunch of little blocks that are identical.
David, question for you.
Yes?
How essential would you say front USB is?
For my partner, quite essential, because that's what she knows to plug into.
Okay. How essential would you say these fans are?
Absolutely not.
Cool. Because, well, I think you see the problem.
Yeah, that's not what that is.
Now, what I didn't tell David is I do have another idea. This housing on this thing is huge. I think it could be trimmed. What am I thinking? This is really stupid. Are we gonna get it? It's pretty tight. I think we're gonna get it. Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole spending your own money thing, I wasn't expecting to find ARGB cables.
They were really cheap.
Define really cheap.
$40
Each?
Yeah. Oh, that's Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad.
It was like 37 something each. So if they work, then
I mean, they look like they should work. Honestly, the space is okay. It's still rough, but it's starting to look like I can see what you were going for.
it's the vision.
Yeah, which is something.
There's still a lot of somethings left, though. What's up with that cable management, Linus?
Yeah,
What the heck?
yeah. This side looks pretty good.
That looks amazing.
Okay, but there's a lot of finishing touches that still need to go in. Like, there's one motherboard screw. I just need to see it post before I do everything. I have very little confidence that this is just going to immediately fire up.
I have high confidence, not only in your ability to do amazing PC work, but the fact that this was a PC that was working yesterday.
Wow, that's going to make me feel even worse when it doesn't fire up. Thanks, David. Okay, neat. Okay, all the RGB works.
That looks good.
I was not sure if that was going to happen. And I'm not getting an output. Oh, well.
Might need batteries.
Oh, it might need to be plugged in.
Oh.
Computer output?
Oh.
Let's try again with a thing
Yeah,
plugged
maybe
in.
it
You
just-
know, just kind of. Oh, it might be giving us a no keyboard error. Do you have a keyboard?
Yes. I've got a new keyboard for this video.
Oh, nice. Nice! Okay, David isn't even back yet, but we already know that that was the problem. Everything's detected, even the bent SSD, so I think I'm good to button everything up and close this out. Oh, it's actually ended up looking kind of cool. Don't tell anybody I said that, though. Is there going to be something like here? And, oh, God! Oh.
The table will be here. It will basically make a 2 here.
David to his parents, can we get Linus to drop things? No, we have Linus at home.
I think I've dropped more stuff in recent videos than you have.
Oh, wait, how did you attach them? Hot glue?
What else?
David!
What else would you use?
Epoxy!
Yeah, but I could never get it off. I want to basically 3D scan and like print something that's going to fit better and be flat, because none of these are flat, so none of them stay super, super well. So this is a temporary solution.
Okay, we should just put a crash pad under the door then.
I'm a man of vision.
This is an acrylic mount, hey?
Yeah.
Is that a good idea?
I don't know. I had Justin make it.
Cool. Okay, where does it go?
Onto this. So we're gonna.
Just this?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's close, she's real close. Yeah, she's gonna go, she'll catch. Okay,
Wait. Oh.
this has got a PC in it. The thing about PCs is the weight distribution, not even. So she wants to go this way, which, I mean, how are you planning to hold the heads of these bolts while you screw in the nuts?
What?
You're going the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to take it off? Okay. Oh, God. Oh, gosh. I mean, I don't want to tighten it too much. It's acrylic, but I don't want to tighten it too little because it's a computer. Look at the flex. Can you see the flex in this, Andrew? Okay, stop.
I haven't heard any acrylic crafting, so it's good.
Okay, giant crash pad.
Literally desperate.
Okay.
So the thing that I'm most excited about in this entire upgrade is this incredible work that Justin did on this Starship Enterprise model. Look at this thing.
That looks awesome.
Custom paint job, he did like battle damage.
I didn't know he was into that stuff.
Oh, he wants you to know that he's into this stuff. He likes this stuff.
I want to see like Poof versus Justin, like battle damaged armor paint off
Yeah,
now. Have you seen some of Ploof's stuff too?
Oh, it's so good.
This is crazy. This looks incredible. Oh, buddy! Oh, that is so cool. So this is like, I guess.
So here's the part you're not gonna like. We're gonna epoxy with stain.
Oh God, it's adding even more weight to the side. Wait, okay. I'm gonna pitch him something else. Okay? We're gonna try and convince David to let us have it come off the shelf. We could even do it in the top surface so you wouldn't even see it. David, we're not letting you do it.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna drill a hole in the top of this shelf.
Sure. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm easy.
Okay, one drill, please.
Should we glue it into the Enterprise first?
Absolutely. Hold on, don't pinch just yet then, because I want to check the angle for this. So we were thinking kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, it's time to pinch, and now we play the waiting game. For the speaker setup, David's using kind of a mishmash of older speakers, so we just need to take a quick look and see what the rated impedance of these is, so we can tell his receiver how hard to drive them. Unfortunately, they don't seem to say. Wait, we could save ourselves some trouble. Do you have a multimeter?
I don't have a multimeter.
Oh.
I have a voltage sensor. I don't know if it does. I don't think it does.
Yeah, that's not going to do that. No multimeter, huh? Because then we could just find out the impedance. It's probably 6 ohms.
So what happens if it's not? Does it just blow up?
One way is much more worse than the other way, and I forget right now. Yeah, I'll find out.
No, but I do.
Yeah. How married are you to these speakers?
They're old hand-me-downs from 15 years ago.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go for gold then. 6 ohms or higher. Okay. What about the rears? Those are probably rated, right?
I think they have at least names. What?
Yeah, just no. I mean, we promised people this was going to be a more frugal, practical tech upgrade. The speakers, they at least have names. You know, yeah, that's the bar. There we go. Oh, hey, DM100. That's right. We don't have a multimeter, but we've got a model number.
You got a multi-reader. You can read letters and numbers. It's crazy.
These are 8 ohm. Okay. So that means
It's 6 or higher,
the
right?
6 or higher setting will be fine for these then. These are the real tech tips though, you know? Hacking together whatever it is that you've got lying around and doing it in a way that's safe and doesn't blow anything up. Okay, so we're safe to continue with the receiver setup wizard. I'm not getting any test tones. You guys sure you hooked all this stuff up right?
Nope.
Yes.
What did you do, David? No, that's fine for now. What did you do?
I haven't done anything yet.
All I did was move these connections from the bottom to the top, which shouldn't matter. That's all I did. Oh, Reese! When were you gonna mention you haven't plugged those in yet?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm sitting here going, oh, the front's working, but the surround's not.
It clearly says they're not. Yeah, okay. Well, now you know.
Okay. Microphone. Yes, I'd like to calibrate now. Before I do that, though, I was thinking maybe we revisit this.
That's it.
And we were thinking here.
Yeah. What drill bit do we need?
Did you call it a drill bit? Go get the drill. You are the drill bitch now. Yeah, buddy. Okay, I think that's good. Here we go. You guys ready?
I think we should epoxy it.
Moment of truth. Oh, buddy! Oh, let's go!
That's so fucking cool.
Okay. Oh man, we nailed the angle on the epoxy thing. You see that? As soon as I stuck it in there, it didn't move at all. So we've actually got the weight kind of distributed correctly. And then I've got some black zip ties upstairs. I'll bring them, and then we can use those to anchor to the pole here. I'll be right back. Okay. It was worth it. It was worth it, David.
I agree.
Are we ever gonna maybe show your SO her new computer?
Yeah.
Is she here right now?
She's all right.
All right.
It's not done. There's more stuff to add, but
Okay.
It's so pretty. I don't know what any of those things do, but I love them. No, I love it. Thank you.
Yay. We wanted to play some retro games because, David was gonna emulate retro games because he had to get rid of all of his consoles to pay for the space. But apparently, all of his Linux ISOs were on a RAID array that died. You don't have a single retro game?
not currently.
Well, wait, what did? Okay, but you kept a couple consoles.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we can play a game. Well, then we don't have the filters.
Yeah. I don't have Retro 4K. I only have the 5X. I don't have anything, guys. I don't have anything. Nothing. I got nothing.
Well, it's still a cool setup, but we have to play a pixel game. What filters do you like?
It depends on the screen. I like the scale 2x ones. Usually those are scale 3x or 4x. The HQ2X actually is one of the ones I like.
Really? Well, I thought you were some kind of purist. That looks.
I don't use anything smooth, so I
I thought You're a
Oh
purist.
man, David, you just lost all your retro gaming street cred in one move.
No. You know what would be lame is if I bought into what other people thought was good. I have my opinion, my perspective, and I bring that to everything I do, including the filters I choose.
Yes.
You know, this might not be as big of a collection anymore, but when you think about the quality per game that we're looking at here now, I like it better. It seems more focused. This is a sick collection.
I gotta say, this is looking mighty fine. It's not perfect, as per usual. My vision is huge. My execution's okay, but with the help of my friends, I did a pretty good job.
So if you guys are all paid friends to me, what am I getting in? You know what? I think the people can see where you're going with this. All it needs is what? Like an area rug or two, a little couch, a little spit shine. This is sick, dude. Are you gonna miss the fidelity of the original consoles, though?
It's going to take me a little while to adjust. I can tell that the input latency was off, and it didn't feel quite right to me. But I think it's something I can get used to, and it's something that I can adjust and research and tweak. And I'm very excited for the emulation of later consoles as well, you know, like PS2, PS3.
This is about where we had the mic, hey, David? Okay, here we go.
I'm so excited. I haven't had a good home theater setup, you know what? Maybe ever. Not this good, for sure.
This, if you're going for full immersiveness, is a great size for this space.
For movies, this isn't too big.
Yeah.
I'm a little anxious for games, but I don't think it'll be too bad.
Well, there's always that one.
Exactly.
You know, we did this video recently, so I don't really need to talk about it a ton. But a cobbled together, random ass Facebook Marketplace speaker setup is so vastly superior to an entry level or even a mid range soundbar that that's just what everybody should be doing. If you're in the know and you don't mind faffing about with inputs, this crushes what, like any soundbar you would have bought for this price. Crushes it. I don't know, man. I think you might have nailed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the transformation almost as much as David did, and hopefully you'll enjoy this segue to our sponsor, Proton Mail.
Amazing
Credits.
episode.
Email trackers in your inbox can tell senders and advertisers
Good job,
what
team.
you read, what you clicked.
Trinity Health. We see all of you.
And here we have travelers in their natural habitat enjoying guaranteed
Now, authorities say he allegedly tried to steal with a group of other migrants more than $600 worth of merchandise. Authorities say the group removed some of the store merchandise when they were confronted by a lost.
So, this is not the first report.
Save the best for last.
Thanks to Amex Platinum, the last day vacation brings yet another experience. That's the powerful backing.
Quitting tobacco is a process. It takes small steps every day.
Trump's
Like
election
trading
as
one
U.S.
smoke or
president sent
vape break
shockwave.
for a walk or a call with a friend. It doesn't happen overnight.
Excuse me, sir.
Stick with
But
it. You will get there. Visit committoquitct.com for the support you need to be successful. That's committoquitct.com.
How do you make the best belt in the world better? I'm glad you asked. Make it out of real cow. Introducing the Groove Belt Max Leather. And it stretches.
Trump's election as U.S. president sent shockwaves through China's foreign trade sector. During his campaign, Trump pledged to impose higher tariffs on Chinese imports, a promise that began to feel like a looming threat as his presidency started. It's over. Trump has won. While this means we can safely return home, it's going to be disastrous for our foreign trade. He once said that if he got elected, he would start a trade war and impose tariffs on Chinese goods, potentially as high as 60%. If that happens, our foreign trade is doomed. This development seems to catch the Chinese government off guard. On November 14th, U.S. House Representative John Molinar introduced the Restoring Trade Fairness Act, aimed at revoking China's Permanent Normal Trade Relations Status, PNTR. Molinar stated that China had exploited U.S. markets and betrayed the commitments it made over 2 decades ago to promote freedom and fair competition when it gained PNTR status. Senator
Sweet
Tom
Mara.
Cotton echoed this sentiment, saying, China's PNTR status has enriched the Chinese Communist Party while costing the United States millions of jobs. This repeal will protect American workers, enhance our national security, and end the Chinese Communists' leverage over our economy. The news worsened Xi Jinping's already precarious position, with commentators suggesting Trump was preparing to strike hard against China. By November 15th, China implemented emergency measures targeting domestic exporters. The government abruptly canceled tax rebates for several export products, including aluminum, copper, and chemically modified oils, and reduced rebates on others, like photovoltaic cells and refined oil products.
China's Ministry of Finance and State Tax Administration suddenly announced the cancellation of export tax rebates for certain goods. The rebate reductions for some products dropped from 13% to 9%.
Since Trump got elected, our first challenge hasn't been U.S. tariffs, but domestic policies cutting or canceling export rebates. This will significantly impact export volumes. Some businesses will be forced to pivot to domestic sales, leading to overcapacity and a new round of price wars. Many reliant on these rebates may not survive. The rebate cancellations will take effect on December 1st. Interestingly, some Chinese citizens expressed understanding for the U.S. decision to raise tariffs, viewing it as a natural response to the trade imbalance. The U.S. might revoke China's PNTR status. Honestly, it's understandable. A historic trade deficit like this isn't normal. In 2023, China's exports to the U.S. amounted to 4.67 trillion yuan, while imports were only 1.64 trillion yuan. We're moving 3 trillion yuan a year from the U.S. No wonder they're fighting back. It's not surprising they don't want to do business with us anymore. The United States Harmonized Tariff Schedule, HTS, has two categories. Column 1, low tariffs, averaging 2.15 for WTO members and those with most favored nation status. Column 2, high tariffs, averaging 42% for countries without most favored nation status. If China loses its most favored nation status, its tariffs will shift from column 1 to column 2. Tariffs on various goods, such as machinery, vehicle parts, semiconductors, and metals, will increase significantly. In addition to the 42% rate, Section 301 tariffs, about 20%, would raise the average tariff on Chinese imports to over 60%. Strategic goods, identified under the Biden administration's Advanced Technology Products List and China's Made in China 2025 plan, would face a minimum 100% tariff. The new tariff rates would be phased in over 5 years. The potential policy change marks a stark departure from earlier U.S. strategies. Back in 2000, President Bill Clinton signed the PNTR legislation, hoping it would promote democracy, improve human rights, and integrate China into the global economy. In 2001, China joined the World Trade Organization as a developing country, fueling rapid economic growth and making it a key U.S. trade partner. By 2020, bilateral trade had reached nearly $560 billion. However, China's rise had not led to improved human rights.
I gotta do laundry.
Under China's President Xi Jinping, China has displayed ambitions to dominate the world and replace the U.S. on the global stage. During Trump's first presidency, the U.S. initiated a trade war. In August 2017, U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer launched a Section 301 investigation, targeting China for forced technology transfers and intellectual property theft. By March 2018, Trump imposed significant tariffs on Chinese imports, covering hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods. The Section 301 framework refers to Section 301 of the U.S. Trade Act of 1974, which authorizes the President to implement protective measures to address trade imbalances and shield domestic industries from foreign competition. These measures include imposing high tariffs on imports or setting import quotas. Calls for the U.S. to revoke China's permanent normal trade relations partner status have persisted for years. However, Trump did not take action on this during his presidency. Starting in 2022, under Biden's administration, senators introduced annual bills to revoke China's PNTR status. Biden not only maintained Trump-era tariffs, but expanded them to include Chinese electric vehicles. Following the
Shop Five Below on Black Friday for the first ever Squishmallows Fill the Bag in-store event. Be here at 7 a.m. Friday to get your Doorbuster bag and fill it with up to 10 Squishmallows for just $20. Exclusions and limits apply. Only at Five Below. car that was so me. What was easy? Choosing NJM for auto insurance. They tailored a policy to my specific needs. I can be a little particular.
With NJM, you get the coverage that's right for you and top-rated customer service.
Round of trade tensions, nearly 48% of Chinese exports to the U.S. no longer benefited from the lower tariff rates associated with PNTR status. The bipartisan consensus to revoke PNTR has gained momentum. In 2023, the U.S. Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party almost unanimously passed a resolution to end China's PNTR status, but formal legislation stalled due to Biden's indecision. By September, Republican Senators Tom Cotton, Marco Rubio, and Josh Hawley introduced another bill in the Senate, the fourth such attempt to revoke PNTR. The proposal has also become part of the Republican Party's 2024 policy platform. Observers note that since Republicans gained control of Congress, the long-anticipated revocation of China's PNTR status may finally become a reality under John Molinar's leadership. The House Select Committee stated that granting PNTR to China was a gamble meant to encourage liberalization and fair trade policies. However, the U.S. lost this gamble catastrophically. Over 2 decades, the U.S. manufacturing sector was hollowed out, intellectual property was stolen, and China emerged as America's top rival. After Trump's recent electoral victory, Chinese President Xi Jinping congratulated him, warning that U.S.-China cooperation would benefit both nations, while confrontation would harm both. Xi urged dialogue and called for managing differences effectively to expand mutual cooperation. Opponents of revoking PNTR argue that higher tariffs on Chinese goods worth billions of dollars would fuel U.S. inflation. Others warn that China might retaliate by imposing tariffs on U.S. imports, including agricultural products like soybeans. However, the U.S. International Trade Commission, ITC, recently reported that tariffs under Section 301 have not significantly impacted inflation. Instead, they have encouraged supply chain diversification and reduced U.S. reliance on Chinese imports in critical areas like electronics, automotive parts, and textiles. Reports suggest that Trump plans to bring back Robert Lighthizer, his former trade representative, as trade czar. His work will be to spearhead a second round of U.S.-China trade wars. Trump has consistently claimed that the cost of these tariffs would fall on China, not U.S. consumers. Lighthizer echoed this, stating that higher prices are a worthwhile trade-off for increased manufacturing jobs. Lighthizer said, "There's a group of people who think that consumption is the end, and my view is production is the end, and safe and happy communities are the end. You should be willing to pay a price for that." Public opinion polls show that most Americans support Trump's stance on China. Analysts predict that for every 1% increase in U.S. tariffs, China's exports would decline by 2%. If tariffs were raised to 60%, the vast majority of Chinese products would disappear from the U.S. market. In this scenario, China would bear the brunt of the economic damage. During Biden's presidency, the Chinese government often used provocative language, accusing the U.S. of encircling and containing China. The Taiwan Strait crisis escalated as well. Trump has warned that if China takes military action, he would impose tariffs as high as 200% on Chinese goods. Trump claims Xi Jinping wouldn't provoke him on Taiwan, saying the Chinese leader knows he's crazier. For Xi, the ideal outcome of the U.S. election would have been another term for the cautious Biden-Harris administration. While Biden has maintained targeted pressure on Beijing, his emphasis on de-escalation has provided Xi the predictability he needs to pursue domestic and international ambitions. However, Xi now faces a deeply unfavorable situation. A second Trump term paired with a staunchly anti-CCP Secretary of State like Marco Rubio. The New York Times described Trump's first term as a historic shift in China relations. Strategy combined economic pressure, unpredictability, sanctions, and tariffs, leaving China destabilized. Today, China faces numerous challenges, especially economic stagnation. If Trump combines his hardline approach from his first term with more focused strategies and discipline, the next 4 years could be a pivotal opportunity to put China on the defensive and tilt competition permanently in the U.S.'s favor. This is no longer the Trump of 8 years ago. Now a seasoned political player, he has survived 2 assassination attempts and made a strong comeback. Trump is no longer content to merely compete with China. His goal is outright victory. His unconventional strategies and a cabinet filled with China hawks could deny Xi Jinping the breathing room he desperately needs, plunging the Chinese leader into a high-stakes battle of wills that he may find impossible to control. Many believe the next wave of trade measures will be even more intense than those of 2018. With its economy in a weakened state, the Chinese government appears increasingly incapable of mounting an effective response. Dr. Qin Jin, a political commentator based in Australia, argues that China's fundamental issue is not human rights, but the nature of its regime. He criticized long-standing policies of appeasement towards China, which he believes lack the political foresight to push for systemic changes. By failing to change China's political structure, human rights also fail to improve. Dr. Chen expressed satisfaction with Trump's appointment of anti-communist hawks to key positions. He considers Marco Rubio's potential appointment as an essential part of an international anti-communist movement led by the U.S., laying the groundwork for the eventual dissolution of the Chinese Communist Party. According to Dr. Chin, the United States had had three great presidents in its history: George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Ronald Reagan. Washington founded the nation, Lincoln preserved it, and Reagan defeated the Soviet Union. Dr. Chin said, in the next 4 years, the world will witness Trump crushing the CCP, fulfilling his mission to dismantle it. Despite a decade of projected strength, China is, in reality, a decline in power, mismanagement, harsh repression, and strategic.
We are Emotiva. Craftsmen, audiophiles, and engineers. We embrace sleepless nights and early mornings, mastering our craft by exploring the endless possibilities of sonic perfection. When you rethink high-end, you'll discover Emotiva.
P.F. Chang's is hosting a chef's feast. You can get a 3-course meal starting at under $20 per person. Find craveable lettuce wraps and a full menu of flavors to celebrate with friends, family, and everyone. Come see why we're America's #1 Asian bistro.
Blunders under Xi Jinping have left the country in disarray. China faces enormous debt, record high youth unemployment, a shrinking population, and rapid aging. Xi's ideology-driven governance has placed the CCP at the center of economic decision-making, eroding business confidence, triggering state-owned enterprise bankruptcies, driving capital flight, and causing foreign investment to plummet. The once booming era of China's economic growth has abruptly stagnated. Last year, Xi Jinping pressured citizens to prepare for hardship, signaling tough times ahead. Xi has tools at his disposal, such as lowering interest rates, extending tax rebate deadlines, or increasing subsidies for exporters to stabilize the economy. However, these are short-term fixes that risk exacerbating China's massive debt. At the same time, Xi has sought to strengthen China's military. However, the U.S. has intensified its efforts to counter China, especially in critical technologies like semiconductors, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, and quantum computing.
Russian soldiers are now riding in their barracks and running away from their position because they know what awaits them. Without any training, without proper equipment, without proper command structure, the only thing that's certain is that once they get to their front line, their days are numbered on this earth. And this isn't even just one isolated incident. In fact, I have so many clips today that I had to leave some out because I don't want to make this video too long. It's extremely common that soldiers are not willing to go to the front line and are being forced to go fight. This kind of reaction that's all too common in Russian army also has a negative impact on the mentality of soldiers who are willing to fight, but see their fellow soldiers not being 100% committed, which breaks down the trust in any team. So let's get into all this and more with former Navy SEAL Chuck Farr, who's going to be sharing what kind of psychological impact this has on Russian soldiers on the battlefield. But like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. YouTube isn't a fan when we share these videos that are not advertiser friendly. So your likes help us out tremendously in the algorithm. Let's start.
Okay, we've got some obviously dissatisfied Russian troops. most armies, it isn't really a good idea to start smashing up the barracks. It's a good way to have the military police show up. You know, morale in the Russian army is really pretty low, and there's no reason for it ever to get higher. And you think of the training a U.S. Marine goes through, that carries over into their service career, right? Their ability to follow orders, stick together, do what they're told, have a certain esprit de corps. None of that happens in the Russian army. Some of these guys get taken off a Moscow subway, and 5 days later they're on the jail. They, you know, if you're a civilian listening to this, they don't even have your training on Call of Duty. They don't know the first thing about surviving on a battlefield or following orders. And you take a person like that, who's still a civilian, and you keep leading them day after day on meat grade attack after meat grade attack, where they lose 60 to 80% of their people. And this is what happens, man. They're smashing up the barracks. Look what happens in the Russian military. I can promise you, that guy breaking out those windows, he is either dead because they shot him behind the barracks, or he's been sent strapped to a tank as a drone route. You know, so the Russian army doesn't put up with this.
Let's finish this clip. Then I actually have something referring to the how you talked about they don't get much training. We have a prisoner of war talking about that exact thing.
Yeah, and I think a couple of cocktails are probably part of this whole scene as well.
We actually covered this in a little bit, but Russians drink double the amount of alcohol compared to Americans. And what makes it worse is we drink lots of beer, they drink lots of vodka.
Yeah, I tell you, when I think about the average listener here, think about how much your average college student drinks. You know, it's a lot. Twice as much as that. So, yeah, here's the other thing is, you don't want to go into combat one by one. I tell you, you don't want to do that. Your reactions are slow, you don't know what's going on. And in fact, these guys get to the point, they don't know the difference sounds between incoming and outgoing. They have no idea, which is one reason when they get to an objective, they can't hold it. They don't have any idea how to do that. So, again, it's one of the reasons that the war is coming, it's going on, I promise you, for a couple more years, but Russia isn't going to. They can't. By this time next year, they will have lost 1 million men in this war. They thought it was going to be over in 72 hours. You know, 720,000 casualties later, today, you know, things aren't going real well, man. Let's follow like we see.
Chris Oboki on Twitter shared more details about this story. It's pretty interesting. Russian soldiers who recently rioted in a barracks near Novosibirsk and tried to escape from it were protesting against being sent back to Ukraine despite being bedridden.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want
So, staple, pigeon gray, in combination.
This is fun. Huh, getting in the pool. It's a weird move. Oh no, it's becoming a real trend here.
Hey guys, Jay here. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Eversolo's new flagship DMP-A10, a streamer, DAC, and preamplifier. Now, Eversolo units has always been about feature-packed value for $1. With the introduction of the DMP-A6 that retails for just under $900 US, followed by the release of the DMP-A6 Master Edition for $1,300 US, and then followed by the DMP-A8 for $2,000 US. And of course, I reviewed every single one of these units, so you can find the full review for each in the description below. But back to the DMP-A10, the flagship. now sitting around just under $4,000 at $3,700 US. I think the question a lot of people will be asking is, sure, Eversolo was able to provide great value for the dollar at $900, $1,300, and even at $2,000, but can it provide great value at $3,700? Well, I'm here to answer that exact question, and as one of the first reviewers to receive this unit, I had plenty of time to play around with the DMP-A10. So in this video, we'll go over the build quality and the features, the new features of the DMP-A10, as well as opening up the hood to see inside the DMP-A10 to see what has changed in terms of technology, and we'll finish it off with the sound quality of the DMP-A10. We have a lot to cover, so let's get straight to it. First, taking a look at the DMP-A10. The unit is definitely a more full-size unit in comparison to the DMP-A6 and the DMP-A8. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is an upgrade in terms of build quality in comparison to the previous less expensive versions, because the touch and the feel of the product is similar. However, the addition of the heatsinks and the little corners that give a different aesthetic vibe to this unit, as well as the slightly bigger screen size, which has gained about 0.5 inches, is a little bit more put together than the DMP-A8. And if you remember, my complaint with the DMP-A8 aesthetic value was that the screen was kind of out of place with the rest of the unit. In this case, I think it fits much better here on the DMP-A10. The screen is snappy as always, and full of features as is with the display on the volume knob. Very cool, and even more cool since you can customize its displays. I personally think it's innovative, and that Eversolo did a really good job with this volume, kind of display that I really haven't seen with other brands before. But I would like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. On the back, you get even more inputs and outputs than any other Eversolo units. As you may know, Eversolo units, all of them, including the DMP-A10, is not just a standalone streamer. It is a streamer, preamp, and also a DAC inside. Meaning, all you need is an amplifier and a speaker for a complete streaming system. And again, one thing that I really like about Eversolo units is that unlike some units out there from other brands, Eversolo's units allow maximum flexibility when connecting to other devices in the market. It allows you to use the unit as just a streamer, or streamer plus DAC, or streamer plus DAC plus preamp, or even use as just a DAC plus preamplifier if you are using a different source like a TV or a CD player. Now you may ask, why wouldn't you want to use all of the features inside the DMP-A10? After all, you pay for that. Well, the reasons may vary depending on your usage. You may choose to use all of the features or use some of the features. But for example, let's say I have an external DAC, like the Pontus 15th anniversary from Nenafris. And let's say I want to use that DAC because I bought it and it just sounds better to me. This is possible thanks to the digital outputs on the back side. It has optical, coax, and USB. Personally, I recommend the USB because it's a more superior connection, especially if you're planning to upsample or play ZSD files or PCM up to 768 kilohertz. Beside the digital outputs, we have the digital inputs. This section would be used if you want